Hey guys, it's Ifter, and I'm back with more Corpse Party Book of Shadows. We were last time playing as Yui, trying to get the lucky pencil from the school, and bad stuff was happening. Last time we hid in the supply locker, and that didn't end the best. Kinda ended in death. So let's hide in the podium. I hurriedly hid myself beneath the teacher's podium. I grabbed my knees, curled up, and made myself as small as I could. What is this? What's happening? The footsteps continue to draw nearer and nearer. Clomp, 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 clomp. Little by little, the sound grew louder. Every hair on my body was standing on end. Please just pass by, please. I held my breath, clasped my hands together, and silently prayed. They were close now. Very, very close. Please, God. Why was this happening? I couldn't make any sense of it. I just wanted it to be over. I prayed to God that it would end. Was this what the old woman was trying to warn me about? Was this all happening because I ignored her? Because I didn't take that stupid paper doll from her? Was it because I'd heard the ghost story of Yoshi and allowed it to get to me? Or did the strange events of the day have nothing to do with what was happening to me now? Feels like my heart's gonna burst out of my chest. I was still holding my breath. I didn't dare let even the tiniest of sounds escape and give away my position. Go away, crazy girl. Or evil lady, I'm not sure which. The consistent rhythm of the footsteps suddenly ended halfway into one of its cycles. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's what we in the business call bad news. And it had ended right in front of this very classroom. Uh-oh. I had goosebumps up and down my arms and legs. I stopped praying and clasped my hands over my mouth. I knew I'd scream if I didn't. Could this be Yoshi? Was the school legend real? All I could do was close my eyes and keep my mouth shut and hope that whoever or whatever this was would just go away. But the footstep sounds didn't start again. If this was indeed Yoshi, then she'd stopped in front of the classroom and was just standing there. I had no concept of time anymore. I stayed in my hiding spot for what was probably only a few minutes. It felt like at least an hour. Maybe whoever it was is gone? I decided to carefully peek out from under the podium. I gingerly edged my head out just far enough to get a glimpse of the room, when suddenly... the footsteps rang out once more. It sounded like they were headed right for me. And they might have been inside the room. I honestly couldn't tell. I scrambled back into my hiding spot and covered my mouth with both hands. Quite rhythmic. This was too much for me. My breathing was coarse and erratic, and my face was a mess of tears and snot. God, please, save me! I was inconsolable. The footsteps just wouldn't stop. What on earth were they doing? It almost seemed like they were running around in circles just to scare me. Stop it! Please, stop it! I mouthed those words over and over again and moved my hands to my ears in a vain attempt to block out this torturous sound. As if in response, the sound changed. It was a loud, dull thud, followed by silence. No more footsteps. I'd heard that sound hundreds of times before. It was the classroom door sliding open. I peeked out, but the door was still tightly shut. How could that be? If the sound I heard wasn't the door, then what was it? What little safety I'd felt here was pretty much gone, but to be fair, I wasn't absolutely certain the spirit had seen or heard me either. The prospect of stepping out into the open wasn't a desirable one, but I had to decide if it was better to stay where I was or to just make a break for it. Oh, why do you give me choices? Why do you give me choices of things to do when they're all terrible? Stay hidden or make a break for it. Make a break for it seems like a bad idea, but stay hidden also just seems like it would be the stupid choice. So you know what? Let's go for the one that seems safe. I'll keep hiding. It will pass by for sure. It'll be okay. But it only took a moment for that decision to come back and bite me. My body was suddenly weighed down. In an instant, without knowing what was happening, my fetally positioned form was essentially locked in place. It was like a boulder had fallen on top of me and was resting on my arched back. I twisted and shuffled myself around, trying to shake it off. But the more I struggled, the heavier it became. What's more, it felt like it was slowly inching its way up toward my head, as if it were planning on dropping down in front of my face. Was this a person? Guess who? It was a female voice, reverberating ominously as if bubbling up from the depths of hell. Gah! I squirmed violently, desperate to throw her off of me. Shall we play tag together? My vision went red, or at least it felt that way. Whoever was on my back had dug her razor-sharp fingernails right into my eyes. Ew! I collapsed on the spot. The pain was instantaneous and unbearable. I could no longer hold my position. I could no longer focus on anything but this agony. My eyes! My eyes! Bad children must be punished. The pain shot through my head in waves. It was indescribable, unthinkable. I couldn't take it any longer. My consciousness faded, and I was gone. I would never know exactly what had happened to me, but maybe I was better off that way. Well. Cool. Cool beans. Wrong N3. Okay. So, now that we know what happens if we stay hidden, let's make a break for it. Staying in one place for too long seemed like it would be inviting trouble. So I took a deep breath and reluctantly crawled out as quietly as I could. But almost immediately I felt something. Tap. Something long and thin had struck me in the back of the head. Or perhaps struck isn't the right word. There was a little force behind it, but it wasn't a hard slam. More like someone was trying to get my attention. Is that a wooden rod? Or, no, it's a finger. I know I wouldn't like what I was going to see, but I had to face whoever this was. So I turned around, and there, looming over me, was... Is somebody still here? Yeah. Go home, child. A figure was peering down at me from above the podium, with one emaciated wishbone-like finger extended toward my face. I recognized this person instantly. No doubt about it. This was the strange old woman who'd supposedly passed away earlier. I was scared out of my mind. I tumbled the rest of the way out from under the podium and shot to my feet. A ghost! There really was a ghost in this school. My breathing was ragged and my heart was pounding so hard I thought it might explode. Plowing through all the desks in my way, I ran as fast as I could toward the classroom door. But that was as far as I could go. What's wrong? Yeah! There in the open doorway was the same old woman, emitting a bluish-white glow. This was the source of the light I'd seen through the window earlier. But how in the world did she get to the door before I did? She's a ghost. That's pretty obvious. I felt like I was starting to hyperventilate and tried as best as I could to calm my breathing as my eyes darted about the room. I needed to get out of here now, to get as far away from this place as I possibly could. The front door is blocked. Maybe I can get out through the back. But if I do that, I can't leave the school without running right past her. There's no way she'd let me by. But I have to do something. I bit my lip and continued scanning the room. Something. If I just had something I could use to fight back. I didn't have time to think carefully about it. I just had to grab something and hope for the best. There were two choices. And I had to pick one on impulse before it was too late. Alright. Oh boy. Hang on. Hopefully it doesn't run out while I'm saving. I mean, you know which one we're picking. Oh! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think it kept going as I was paused. It's not good. Well, hang on. No, hang on. Hang on. I gotta be quick. I gotta be drastically quick. Okay, good. It saves it here. Let's go with the broom. A broom from the cleaning supply locker. That might work. Maybe I can fend her off with it. It was a long shot, but it was better than just standing around and getting caught. What do I do now? What do I do? Ah! When I looked over, the spirit of the old woman was holding out her hand from the other side of the door frame. She really was trying to catch me. I wasn't just being paranoid. She was going to kill me and turn me into a ghost like her. I was convinced this had to be Yoshi, teacher from that urban legend. I couldn't waste any more time. I darted out through the back door of the classroom into the safe end of the hall. I was running at top speed, hoping to escape behind the spirit's back. Unsurprisingly, trying to outrun a ghost proved to be a fruitless endeavor. The spirit saw me and moved at breakneck speed to intercept. Stop! Yeah! I impulsively thrust the broom out and stabbed her in the eye with it. Take that, I thought. But my moment of bravado was short-lived. The broom immediately shattered into a million pieces. If my attack accomplished anything, it just made her mad. Huh? Ah! Ah! I had the sudden sensation of someone seizing me by the throat, accompanied by an unpleasant crunching sound. God, she really did have me by the throat. I couldn't breathe. For as old and frail as she looked, she was uncommonly strong. Gotcha. No! She was actually gripping me so tightly that she managed to raise me off the ground by my neck. I could see her slender, bony hand in the periphery of my vision. Feel it cutting into my trachea. Was that hand really holding me in the air against my will? Kicking and flailing by just the tissue and bones of my neck? I couldn't struggle anymore. I was like a puppet on a string. Tag. You're it. Ooh. The sudden crack, my field of vision shifted 90 degrees, and everything turned blood red. Oh my. Just like me. You're a jerk. I hate you. You're a jerk and I hate you! Sorry, I know this sounds awful when I do that. I shouldn't do that. Well, that's gonna be another bad end. I mean, for sure. Alright, well, that's it for that. This time, let's take that bag of salt. This looks like leftover salt from an old chemistry experiment. I heard that salt was used in purification rituals, so it seemed like a natural choice. Alright, this is coming with me. I placed the salt in my pocket as a sort of protective charm. I'm scared, but, well, here goes nothing. When I looked over, the spirit of the old woman was holding out her hand from the other side of the door frame. She really was trying to catch me. I wasn't just being paranoid. She was going to kill me and turn me into a ghost like her. I was convinced this had to be Yoshi, the teacher from that urban legend. No, I won't let her get me. Bracing myself, I darted toward the door at the back end of the classroom. There wasn't a moment to lose. If I didn't act fast, I probably wouldn't be able to act at all. Threw open the door and just began running at top speed, hoping to escape behind the spirit's back. Unsurprisingly, trying to outrun a ghost proved to be a fruitless endeavor. The spirit saw me and moved at breakneck speed to intercept. Stop! Don't come any closer! I thrust my hand in my pocket and withdrew the bag of salt. I threw the entire thing directly at the old woman's face. She recoiled! Now's my chance! I ran down the hall as fast as my legs could carry me, briefly glancing over my shoulder after a moment to confirm the spirit was still writhing. I just kept on running down that dark hallway. Nothing but adrenaline and mortal fear to keep me going. I reached the stairwell at the end of the hall and made a mad dash toward ground level. I was determined to get out of this building alive. Stop! Finally, still moving at top speed, I reached the window door leading outside. Almost there, I'm almost out. Luckily, the malevolent spirit hadn't caught up to me yet. It actually seemed like I might be able to escape. I might actually survive this. I made it! I grabbed the handle and tried pulling it. Huh? No, it's not opening. Why? I'm so close! Please, please open, I'm begging you! I have to think of something else. At this rate, the horrible woman's going to... No, I can't let that happen, but what do I do? What can I do? I'm probably gonna have to reload, because... Think I went with run somewhere else? Maybe not. Alright. Let's try that again. It sucks, because I want to save just so I have the opportunity, but... Yeah. I have to think of something else. This way. Okay. Run somewhere else. I have no choice. I have to keep running. I have to find someplace else. Maybe I can hide somewhere and throw Yoshi off my trail. I had no particular destination in mind. My only thought was anywhere but here. After maybe 30 seconds, I found myself in the second floor hallway. There was an outside corridor connecting the two buildings of the school there, and it was the first alternate escape route that came to mind. Naturally, it was walled off from the outside for safety purposes. The wall wasn't so big that I couldn't scale it in a pinch. I didn't really want to jump from the second floor of the school, but if I had to, I was confident that I'd at least survive the fall with minimal injury. I should consider that a last resort. For now, let's just get out of sight. I climbed the wall faster than I thought possible and dropped down to the narrow ledge on the other side. It was just wide enough to sit down. My back was to the hallway, but my location should have been completely hidden from anyone inside the school. I looked down at the muddy ground below me. I really couldn't see much, though. The outside was completely dark. It was so dark that it felt almost like the whole world had been draped in a black veil. Maybe I should just stay here until morning. I mean, even if I ran, I'm pretty sure I'd get caught. I opened the pen case in my pocket and pulled out the pencil I received from Tsukasa. Tsukasa, please protect me. Was I really treating this stubborn little pencil as a protective charm? Tsukasa said it would guarantee success on my tests, not ward off evil spirits. Still, it was better than nothing. I clutched it tightly in my hands and prayed. Please protect me. I whispered the words so quietly that I might as well have been mouthing them. That seemed to be all the opening that damn spirit needed. I sensed a presence on the ledge with me. I was so startled that I almost fell from my perch. No, please, why are you doing this? However, I can only sense her there. I didn't actually see her. Thought for one brief moment that maybe I was letting my imagination run wild. But then I felt the horrible sensation of something coiling itself around my arm. Oh! You mustn't go outside. Eek! Before I knew it, a tall, shadowy figure had half emerged from the wall behind me. She had me in her grasp. There wasn't much more to her than an indistinct flickering silhouette, but I could clearly see she had a broken neck. Was this a different apparition? Her scraggly root-like fingers were squeezing my arm with tremendous force, pushing aside muscle and tissue and pressing right on the bone. What are you? Where are you going, my dear? I'll just be a little longer, so won't you please wait for me? That hurts! It really hurts! I was shaking hysterically and tears were streaming down my face. I was absolutely convinced that I was going to die here. Let go of me! Sachi. I could offer no resistance. She was too strong. All I could do was plead with her. Stop, please! You're really hurting me! I felt like my arm would snap in two at any moment. Let's be together forever. It wasn't just grabbing, but twisting as well. The pain was unlike anything I'd ever experienced before. I couldn't think about anything else. Stopping it had become my first and only priority. I struggled violently against the spirit's grip, ultimately breaking free by throwing my body off the wall toward the unseen earth below. In the face of death, everything really does seem to slow down. I read somewhere this is because the brain is sending out all kinds of distress signals or something. Slow motion or not, though, I was fully aware of my surroundings. I was cascading through the air just outside my school building. We have options. Delicious, delicious options. Let's save over the first thing. Okay. Let's prey upon the pencil. This is a dream. Please, let me wake up from it right now. Those are the words echoing through my head as I clutched Tsukasa's pencil tight against my bosom, like a prayer talisman. Moments later, I crashed into the ground, and a horrible squelching sound echoed in my ears. My neck was... Tsukasa's pen... Oh! Ooh! Head pierced deep into my throat. Blood was spurting everywhere. I was practically drowning in it. I'd landed right on it, and it wasn't long before I gasped my final gasp. Ooh. Okay. Okay. It's gross. Okay, well, let's see what happens if we reach out our hands. This also seems like a bad idea. I was pretty sure this fall would kill me. With a control jump, I might have been able to survive, but I was tumbling like a ragdoll. I was a goner! Couldn't even remember what you were supposed to do in a situation like this. Try to flip over? Brace for impact? One last-ditch attempt at survival, I stretched out both my arms. Maybe somebody would be waiting there to grab them. Maybe somebody would save me. Somebody actually did. I honestly wasn't expecting that. I really thought there was no hope. But then at the last second, I was yanked to safety. Shishido! Tsukasa? Are you okay? Hang on, don't let go. Right. I held onto his arms with all my might. Against seemingly impossible odds, I was pulled in. My life was saved. This is like a scene out of some anime. It shouldn't have happened. It was too convenient, but I wasn't about to complain. That was close. Why, Tsukasa? No time to explain. We have to run. What? Tsukasa was still holding on to me tightly after coming to my rescue. He took off down the hall, back into the heart of the school with me in tow. Damn it, what the hell was that thing? Please tell me I'm just dreaming. He practically spit these words as he continued running. Why is Tsukasa here? Tried to match his gait, and once we were a bit more in sync, I looked up at his face. He was fast. After we reached the end of the hall, he suddenly veered to the last classroom before the stairwell, pulling me in with him. Shishido, you okay? I'm fine. I can walk by myself, really. Sorry, my bad. I moved away from Tsukasa and almost immediately spilled onto the ground like a house of cards. Whoa, you sure don't seem okay to me. Maybe not, I just need a few... Hey, don't push yourself. Tsukasa grabbed my arm to help me up. Fortunately, it was the arm Yoshi had been twisting. Oh, sorry. Is it your arm that's hurting you then? Yeah, I don't know how bad it is, but it really stings, like it's on fire. I draped my other hand over the sore spot, where I assumed there was probably one hell of a bruise. Started rubbing gently, but it didn't help at all. It's not good. We should get you to the nurse's office right away then and take care of it. Well, we'll do that next time. But until then, everybody, take care.